Hey, what's up, Passport Bros? This is Ra Haru Nefer here with another video for you. And in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between um, Brazilian women versus Colombian women. And we're going to really get down into just I would say just the physicality of it. I'm not going to dive deep into like the character traits. We'll save that for another video. But so again, in this video, we're going to be just looking at the physicality in terms of how that appeals to certain men. But before I do that, I want to remind you to visit our website. So make sure you go to our website and you can actually register for free, or you can do a paid membership for $14.95 and you get a lot of great benefits. So go there and check it out at worldpassportbros.com. Now, one of the things that makes a good passport bro or a man in general is the ability to control your emotions. I'm hearing from other passport bros that they're getting a lot of flack on social media from women who are expressing a lot of hate and vitriol. Well, it's okay. Women don't accept rejection well. You should know that. In my life, I have rejected women and it's never gone smoothly because they're not used to getting rejected because some simp is always placating to them, and I call these people satellites where the guy will be around waiting for his opportunity. So she's used to living in the world of abundance, and getting rejected is out of her sphere of awareness or consciousness. She just can't fathom it. It's something that like rocks her entire world, destroys her paradigm. So this is the passport bro movement is doing that. It's in a sense rejecting these women, and they're not handling it well. And this is why you'll see them on social media trying to shame you and degrade you for going overseas to seek a better quality of woman. Just ignore it. Don't get into a debate, an argument. Ignore it. And one of the videos I'm going to be making coming up, not too long from now, is a video on Stoicism, started by the Greeks. And this is basically the ability that no matter what happens in your life, to be at an emotional level that doesn't change. It's kind of like if you watch James Bond, no matter what he's going through, he's always cool and calm. And that's a bit of stoicism there. It's like, well, your house burned down. Okay. You don't get all emotional and freaked out. Your wife left you. She took the kids. You're on a level even keel. You're not emotionally disrupted by this. And the Greeks practiced stoicism because, especially during that period, there were natural disasters where, you could have fire that'll burn down everything you own. There's no insurance back then. Then you could be poor, living on the streets. And there's no use in crying about it, getting upset about it. You just have to rebuild. And Stoicism teaches you that you should be at peace in all things, even when good things happen to you. When I wrapped on one of my major film productions, everybody was elated at having a party. And I was just cool, sitting back, eating a veggie burger. My producer came with me and asked me if I was okay. I go, yeah. She said, aren't you happy your film is done? And I was like, yeah, I am happy. I'm just cool about it. At the film festivals, all these people were like excited that they got their awards and they went to the award party. They're getting drunk. And I was just sitting back, just being so cool and not being, like emotionally elated or anything that Spike Lee was there, and he came over to me, and we ended up just standing there talking for the entire night, you know, because I was just chill. One of the good books that we're going to get into is a book called Meneb. This is the Egyptian Kemetic version of Stoicism. It's called Meneb and Ma'at, which gives you the practical meditation techniques and everything you need to know to be at rest, to be at peace, so nothing disrupts you in your life, because you're going to go through a lot in your life. And life is not fair. But again, we'll talk about that in another video. So I wanted to get in the difference between Brazilian women and Colombian women, because it was something that was on my mind when I began to travel. Aesthetically, I'm talking about. Because to me, they kind of looked similar. I know the first time I actually fell in love was with a Brazilian woman here in the States. And she knew I was feeling her. And she was very kind, very nice. She played no games. She was open and honest. Didn't break my heart, but she was just let it know that, let it be known that she was interested in another guy. And I was cool with that. I even ended up meeting the guy. Everything was cool. But years later, when I began to travel, I wanted to know the difference between the two women, again, aesthetically. And one of the things that you should know starting out, if you're going to be doing this traveling, is that your travel magazines, your photos of these women online will lie to you. And I had noticed that. I didn't really notice it until I got to the countries themselves. And what I'm talking about is they will promote here in the States the images of Brazilian and Colombian women that are more Eurocentric, European in nature, meaning European features, very light skin, white skin. But when I went to, especially in Colombia, I started seeing like really dark-skinned Colombians everywhere. And in Brazil, it's populated by mostly Black people, Black Brazilians. But you would not know this looking at the American publications, because they don't promote the lighter skin. I mean, don't promote the darker skin Brazilians and Colombian women. And it's done on purpose. But let me get to the heart of the matter. Here is the main difference that you need to be aware of. And it took me a little bit to pick up on it. And it is best expressed by this term, the Brazilian booty. See, Brazilian women, let me start with that, have more of a hourglass figure. They're a little bit more curvy and round compared to the Colombian women, especially in the booty area. Those women have magnificent butts. So what you'll notice with the Brazilian women is that not only do they take care of themselves, because in the States, a lot of women are obese, overweight. There's a difference between being obese and overweight, and think they're tens and think that you should bow down to them. Whereas in Brazil, you'll have these women that are curvy and very humble. And one of the reasons why they're humble is because women like them in Brazil are a dime a dozen. You'll see them everywhere. Beautiful, physically fit, and feminine women. So there's no reason for them to cock an attitude, because you'll just move on to the next one. So that they're usually very respectful and humble. Yes, you'll get one or two that may not acknowledge you when you spit in game, but overall, they're very receptive. Now, the Colombian women are a little bit different. And I noticed this when I went to certain places where there were a large gathering of the women, especially the clock tower. They're less curvy and more straight, I would say. And the term I guess I would use is not as voluptuous. Because I when I went to Colombia twice, it just kept nagging at me like, why wasn't I attracted to Colombian women? I mean, they were beautiful, but something wasn't, my hormones weren't moving. But when I looked at the Brazilian women, then I was like, whoa, that's because I like more of the curvy women. Let's break it down to basics, right? And I don't mean to get racial on you, but there is a certain type that certain racial groups of men like. We know that Western men in the States, especially white men, like more of that thin supermodel type. I can even call it like a boyish figure. Not a lot of breasts, not a lot of booty. You'll see this. In contrast to Black men who like what we call as thick women. These women often have big booty, big breasts, and a little bit of weight on them to where they're not considered fat, but just thick. This is why a lot of passport bros who are Black or ADOS go to the Dominican Republic, because there you'll find the voluptuous, thick women. Not overweight now, using the term voluptuous. So let's take a look at this from a visual perspective. All right, let me show you some examples of what I am talking about. See if I can share my screen. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's start with the Colombian women. Yeah, let's start with the Colombian women. So here are some examples of the Colombian women. Keep in mind, this is exactly what I've talked about and how they pick the lighter skin, more European look to promote in their publications and stuff. So when you see these Colombian women, don't go to Colombia looking for women to be, all of them to be looking like this. They don't. They're going to be darker skinned. Well, let's see. Let me put it to you this way. They're going to be of all hues, all different shades. And that's what makes them so beautiful. You can find a multitude of women in different shades. So, wait a minute, Shakira, Colombian? I didn't know that. She is Colombian. All right. Shakira. What do you know? Turns out there are a lot of famous women that are Colombian. She's one of them. I didn't realize that she was Colombian. She's on this show. So, and that's been a big controversy. I won't get into it, about how these novellas and TV shows always tend to hire the actress or model of a lighter complexion. The color complex is a big problem in these countries. So this was what you would consider, let me go back, the body type of a Colombian woman, kind of straight. Notice there's not much in terms of the booty features, but nonetheless beautiful. Okay. Let's go and see something else now. Let me see if I can pull up another one. No, what was that? That was Colombian women. Now we're going to look at Brazilian women. Okay. As you can see, whoa, a little bit of difference here, maybe a lot of difference here. All right. You automatically have body type. She's got breasts. She's got, hold on a second. That's my bad. What is this? This is Brazilian, right? Okay. She's got the breasts. She's got the booty, the world-renowned Brazilian booty. So kind of what we would call voluptuous. And again, in Brazil, all shades of hue, they come in. Let me backtrack off this and see. Okay, here's some more. Okay, get some more. Okay, so you get the idea here with the Brazilian women. There's a photo I really like that I came across. I probably won't be able to find it of a Brazilian woman, but it's okay. And she was a darker skin complexion. Let me see if I can find it for you. I probably won't be able to find it. It's okay. Kind of like this. So, and you have there. Now, this is appealing. They're trying to appeal to American men's tastes by showing you the Brazilian woman who's kind of like just straight, no curves and things of that nature, not that hourglass figure. And the one thing you'll notice is the Brazilian women at Carnival are just amazingly beautiful and have the most outstanding bodies, and you really can't compare to that, But as I said before, if you are looking for voluptuousness or thickness, then you would probably go to the Dominican Republic. All right. I can't find that one picture where she was. But okay, another time. So, and you see, you got your darker skin here. You can go from your darker skin to, this is not a good example of a Brazilian woman. You know what I mean? It just looks straight up Western European woman. Again, they're trying to appeal to white Western sentiments, Here we go again. More curvy features there. And what I really like about Brazilian women, I'll tell you this, I didn't experience it too much with Colombian women, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. Brazilian women were okay with being flirtatious. You didn't need to like censor what you were saying. You could really just go for it and say, hey, you know what? I'd love to screw you. And she'll laugh and flirt back with you. You know what I mean? So there's not that hang up that American women have about, the Me Too and all that. Oh no, you're sexually harassing me, So this is beautiful woman here. Yeah, and you can, it's on with Brazilian women and Colombian women too. And what I mean by it's on, you can go right in there and start your game, start your flirting, start your physical escalation. Here's the photo right here. This is the one I really like. She's beautiful, hair. She's got body, great. All right, so just wanted to show you that. So there is, in terms of physicality, a difference in Brazilian women versus Colombian women. And I just wanted you to know that. So if you're a type, like you could be, I don't know, you could be a Latin man, and your type is more of the Western males type, where you just like a woman who's kind of straight. I hate to say stick figure, but just straight, that boyish figure in a way, that supermodel, type of, and it's changing in the West here, because it used to be the supermodels were wafer thin, almost anorexic in a way. But now, with the promotion of other women of color, Latinas, your Black women, they're realizing that curvy, having them a little bit more curvy, appeals to other demographics in that way. But we still have a long way to go before we get rid of the European white woman standard, because that standard does not account for how all women in the world look. And in a future video, I'll get into how the Dominican women look. And I'll also get into the different types of character traits you can expect. What is the difference in terms of getting involved in a relationship with a Brazilian woman versus a Colombian woman versus a Dominican woman versus a Cuban woman? These are things you'll need to know. And it's very, very important, because yes, the physicality, how the woman looks is important, because that's the first thing that's going to attract you. But you need to be aware of, how they're going to treat you, if they're going to be respectful, which they are, because most of them, those women, haven't been tainted by American feminism. So they're going to be respectful, and most of them come from a patriarchy structure. So I want you to keep that in mind, because no matter where you're going there, in terms of if you decide to go with Brazilian or Colombian women, you can expect to get a woman who is going to be very, very supportive, not argumentative, will see you as the leader, and she'll work with you. Versus American women, well, we know what that's about. That's why there's the entire passport bro movement, okay? So, hey, listen, I want to thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to go to the website, worldpassportbrothers.com, and sign up. Registration is free. This is Ra Harunu Nefer for World Passport Bros, and I will see you on my next video.